So we started Sales Acceleration because we wanted to make a difference in the lives of people, specifically the small business owners in their communities, but also the advisors who really lost touch with their communities, lost touch with their families. And at my stage of my life, it was really about making a difference. It was no longer about how much money you could accumulate, the kind of revenue that you oversaw. It was really about helping people and giving back.
You have a lot of business owners that wear multiple hats. They usually get their business to a certain part, whether it's 5 million, 10 million, 25 million, but then it just stops and it plateaus and they just can't get to the next level. And it's like, wouldn't it be great to take all these VP of sales and their experience to help these smaller business owners not have to worry about that?
The primary reason is travel. Family is really important to me. Soccer games, baseball games, and I traveled so much and missed a lot of those opportunities. And I think what really ended it for me is when I received the phone call that my son hit his first home run, and I wasn't there to see that, and that bothered me a great deal. So I decided to look for an opportunity where I didn't have to travel so much.
Well, the reason that I looked at moving away from corporate role into entrepreneurship is really it's something I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to have the ability to control my own destiny, to set my own schedule, and really ultimately I grew tired of the whole structure and the bureaucracy that was associated with specifically large, Fortune 500 companies.
I wasn't quite ready to retire, but I didn't want to have a boss anymore. I got to the point in my career where I knew I was good at this, and I've always had this entrepreneurial spirit, but I've always been a company man. And finally got to the point in my life where this was the right time to do it.
So one of the things that's the most fun is that feeling that an advisor has at the end of a 3-day class. So with those 3 days, there's apprehension about coming in. There's anxiousness about, well, what is this all about? They haven't been in the kind of the student's chair for a long time.
I would say the advisor trainings have exceeded my expectations. I think like many of us coming into this week, we've heard snippets, we've had chances to speak with individuals within the organization, but until you really see it live and in person and kind of work with the tools, you don't really have that appreciation for what it was. So I think this training really kind of put the theory to practice of, okay, here's the things that we could be doing. Now these are the specific tools and the processes in which we need to follow. So for me, it was extremely beneficial to kind of connect those two dots. And so, leaving here, I feel much more comfortable about what my role is going to be. I feel very comfortable with how I'm going to support customers, and then just in myself in terms of how I will run my business. So really, I shared this with the team as well. I've just exceeded my expectations fully.
The training has definitely met my expectations. After the first day, I thought to myself, okay, well, if this doesn't work out, it's no one's fault but my own. And then at the end of the training yesterday, I thought that I was getting a pretty good deal. I know this is a sizable investment, but the value is definitely there.
I came into it a little bit skeptical, I think with a healthy skepticism coming into training, not sure what I was going to be seeing. But literally within 2 hours of the first day, I texted my wife and I said I absolutely made the right decision.
One of the biggest things I hear all the time is, I wish I did this sooner. I heard about you guys before, or sometimes even said, hey, I've thought about doing kind of like an outsourced VP of sales 5-10 years ago, but I couldn't pull the trigger.
I actually went on LinkedIn and said, well, I must know somebody who's part of Sales Acceleration. And I actually did find a former coworker, and I called him up and I was like, hey, what do you think of this? And he said to me, best thing I ever did, completely worth it. The investment you make in it initially, you actually, if you think about the mistakes that you would make in your first year of business, that alone is worth the investment.
So one of the points of apprehension for a potential advisor often is, do I need to add some of my own products, some of my own tools to what Sales Acceleration has? And the answer is no. We have literally everything. We have a portal that's all ID and password protected. So every form of social media, marketing piece, every product, every service, the questions that you ask, the software that's custom built for you, the tools, every single thing you could possibly need, we supply. You just have to bring your skills and your talents here. We have everything else that you need.
The advisor training so far is awesome. It exceeded everything I thought. I had some tribulation coming down here as far as what we were going to get out of the program. I was worried there was going to be gaps or holes that I would have to fill by developing some of my own products, and none of that came true. Everything here is 100% available for us to go and hit the road selling right away.
Outstanding, above expectations. It really is. The depth of it, everything from marketing to how we're approaching our referral system, it's really in depth and really more engaged than I thought it would be.
The process we have at Sales Acceleration and interviewing can seem lengthy to some. It can be 6, 7, 8 steps along, which can seem very lengthy. But we've found over the years of doing this, the company is almost 10 years old, have over 180 advisors, and last year had over 14,000 applicants and brought 50 of them in to be new advisors. What we find is there's a behavior set that is very, very important to be a match for Sales Acceleration. And when we find that behavior set, it almost guarantees success of 85% of a person coming in to be a successful advisor for us. So it's a very deliberate process built to help us identify the right people, but also to help take the risk away from hiring the wrong person and guaranteeing success to the advisor.
I did a lot of research online, and the reason I chose to partner with Sales Acceleration is because of their leadership in this industry, as well as the tools and resources that they have available. And I just found a lot of their materials to be very pointed and very relevant to the small business owner, and it's something that I can attach myself to with pride and confidence, and that I know that will play well with people I work with.
It's just the excitement and the energy, knowing that they get to do something on their own, they're fully supported, they have a process, they can ramp up their business. And when you're helping these companies give them hope again, and they know their life's going to be different, and they're the conduit to it, and you're working with people that you want to work with, and you have 100% say in what's going on, and you're in your own bed every night, that's pretty cool.
Would I make the recommendation? Yes.
Oh, I completely would, and I already have.
I would recommend to another advisor to come over here. Our small business industry is in dire need right now. There's so many business owners that are really good at developing their products or their service, but they just don't know how to run a business. And there's going to be more of a demand for our service into that industry coming up in the near future.
I would absolutely recommend, and I've actually talked to a couple of friends about it.
I think this is just a very natural progression for them. I would highly recommend it.
It makes sense to bet on yourself, but at the same time, you're not betting on yourself by yourself. You're doing it with a reputable company with a lot of great resources like Sales Acceleration has.
If you feel like your corporate role is not where you want to be, if you want to explore something different where you can take control of your life and make a difference, I encourage you to think about Sales Acceleration.